Hello to everybody. My name is Amita, and I'm going to talk to you or tell you about my Iboga experience, microdosing experience that I'm doing also with my husband since 15 months. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the first month. It was really impressive of experiences with the microdosing. Before I do this, I just want to say a little disclaimer that I'm not responsible, or I do not want you to get into Iboga. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a scientific researcher. So it's purely my personal experience. The Iboga, I will tell you a little about the history, just a little bit for who does not or is not familiar with Iboga. So Iboga got, let's say, discovered in 1968 from three drug addicts that went to Africa and to take part of the rites of passage. In Africa, the root Iboga is a root from the Iboga plant, and it gets harvested after 7 years with the root bark and the root, and then it gets shredded, and you can take it. And when you do a flood session is a deep session that takes about 3 days, and it's supposed to change your life, and it stops heroin addicts and lots of other dysfunctional behavior to stop. Well, but that's another, maybe I can, well, you can just watch it, the explanation and the history of Iboga. There are some books, and there's also on YouTube other interesting videos about it. So, Iboga for the rites of passage is done with, let's say, children. They're about 12 years old, and they're doing a rites of passage into their adulthood. And this happens in the whole group, of the, I don't remember the name of it. Well, it is done in the whole group. Everyone is present, and they just get fed a lot of Iboga. I think about 25 grams, maybe even more, but that's only indicative to because Iboga, you have to take it with when you do these sessions, you have to take it accordingly to your weight. Okay, so the Iboga was discovered from these 3 heroin addicts. They went there and wanted to do this rite of passage. They did it, and all 3 of them, as far as I know, not even knowing about that effect that would have to them, after 3 days, none of them had any desire to do any heroin anymore. And that's because Iboga, it connects with, let's say, dopamine neurons, and it fills them up. And it also takes a while for them to break down, because they're like an oil substance. So it does take a long time to wash out. Well, that's a little bit the story, but that's okay. Thank you for bearing and hanging in there with me. So, me and my husband began Iboga 15 months ago, and excuse me, my watch, we had, excuse me, I have to answer this. Okay, so, and we had to, okay, me and my husband are taking this, the microdosing Iboga, and how we got to it, it's a really interesting synchronicity of the events that I discovered it. It's not that I discovered it, I really, when I had discovered it, I felt it was Iboga who called me. I swear, it was really, really, I will tell you briefly. Me and my husband were breaking up 1 year ago, and we also broke up 3 years ago, and well, a little fights in between. And it was really, really devastating for me. It was so painful. I couldn't remember to have had so much pain. And then it dawned on me last year that my childhood pain, my childhood hurt, my childhood traumas, let's say it this way, were really painful, but I guess I just, I thought I worked on it already, and I did groups about it, and I also did shaman groups about it, and they are also called rites of passages, rites of passage, where you go on hunt. You go on hunting your pieces of Seele. How do you say it in English? You go hunting in a piece of your anima, Seele, soul. Excuse me. You go hunting about to get back a piece of your soul that someone, maybe in your childhood, took away, and you can integrate it back. But obviously there were too little pieces I got together and integrated. Otherwise I thought I could not have had so much pain. So about 15 months ago I decided to get help, other kind of help, and I went to a therapist, and it was the synchronicity of the events, because she was also, we had the same kind of experiences. We followed a spiritual teacher for a long time, and she did it also for 10 years. She went in a place in Pune for a long time, and also she was a shaman. So I was so surprised, because I did not know about her before. So I kind of told her my story, why I was there, all in tears, and that I needed support to get over this. And I just wanted to work on the inner child, because it has to do with that. It's all my projection on him and my expectations, and that's all just imprinted from the childhood. So that was my theme, my problem. There aren't any problem, there's only facts, or someone would say. And so she told me also about, because I told her I did some shaman groups and integrating the pieces of soul that I lost, but it obviously wasn't enough. Otherwise I guess I shouldn't have felt so devastated, or I just didn't know how to handle it, all these emotions. So she suggested, well, you like shaman work so much, why don't you just look up some shaman groups? And I was like, okay, I can do that. I may go back to Italy to do that, because that's where I went for a long time. And the best shaman work I did there is, yeah, I think I can make her name. It's Nirava, but that's not relevant at this moment. So I just thought, well, when I came back home, I said, well, what could it be that Iboga has, not Iboga, what does it have to be that the shamans can bring me to heal? So I Googled, and then I went to YouTube, and I found Iboga healing. And the healing, and I thought, what's that? And I began to watch the first videos, and I got such an aha feeling. I had goosebumps from toes to the top of my head. And that I have when I get this this feeling in my gut. So I have trust in that feeling, and I knew this was it for me. Okay, now 10 minutes of introduction. I will finally get to my experience. Sorry. So, I talked to my husband about it, and we just ordered it and got we ordered it in Austria because there it's legal, and we got it shipped to Germany and began with the microdosing. Microdosing, you should begin with a little allergy test. So you never know. So you just take 50 milligrams. You should get a little scale for it, or if you have already capsule, yeah, the capsules, then you can just divide them. But it's better to have the scale, because sometimes you get a lot more and it does look a little more little, but it's maybe a piece of wood bark in it that weighs a lot more. So it's always better. I've always advised, take it with measure it with a little scale. So I will go on with my next video to introduce you my whole experience. Thank you for watching. If you do want to have updates, because today I'm going to make the 30 days first 30 days experience. If you do want to have some notification when I post it, then you can click on the subscribe button below, and maybe if you like the video, click on the thumbs up. Thank you.